Right, I've got the screen up and I'm looking at these coffee seedlings that we planted about 5 months ago. It was late October, and I have a video that you can check out, and it's called 2019 Coffee Crop Update, Planting Coffee Seeds, and it's from October, and this is late March, so this is about 5 months of growth. We live right here in what's known as the Kona coffee belt, which is an absolutely perfect climate for coffee. So these have had almost nothing done to them. They've just been stuck into a pot, and rainfall and a little bit of sun has done the rest. We will get actually around here. I thought something was crawling on my leg there for a second. As you can see, I haven't been able to get in the screen as much as I wanted to, and we've got a lot of weeds here. But anyway, if you recall from that video, I had 2 trays that I planted, and in one tray I put overripe coffee cherry seeds, and the other tray I just put basically ripe coffee cherry seeds. And I wanted to see if there's any difference in sprouting. And then since then I added a 3rd tray, and I think if you look here, there's really absolutely no difference between the overripe and the ripe coffee cherries. And then, in fact, this tray over here was the newest one, so they were actually added several weeks later. There's only 2 of them that I've had to remove because they got too big for the tray, basically. And this one I've removed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this one 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need to remove 2 more. There really isn't much difference. Anyway, I want to show you what it looks like when these sprout. There was absolutely no activity for the first 2 to 3 months. And so for half of that time there was nothing but dirt waiting for the sprouts to get going. Here's what you'll see first off. They love to shoot the seed into the air like that. And that'll go on for several weeks. And then they'll open up like this. And you'll have 2 main leaves come out. And then after that, they'll get 2 more leaves like this. Let's see if I can, there we go. I found that these trays I got from the hardware store, I think they actually sprout the seeds better than these yogurt containers. They're sprouting, as you can see, but they're taking longer. The containers, let me show you. See, this one still hasn't sprouted yet. I have a little hole in the bottom to let water out, but I think they're maybe just a little bit too wet. If you look over here, see, something is growing in this one. I don't know if that's algae or what. This one has the same algae, but the seed is growing anyway. Coffee, as you can see here, loves moisture. As far as the climate is concerned here, in these last, I guess, 5 months, it's probably been raining 75% of the days. So 3 out of every 4 days there'd be some rain, and these are always wet. But I think these little trays will actually drain better. They're wet inside, but they're not wet enough to start getting other things growing. Now this one got knocked over by some small animal. Even with the screen up, little animals occasionally will get in here and knock things around and dig into some of these. They don't really chew on the coffee seeds though. What you need to do if you're going to plant these is you need to remember that these are trees and they're going to put out a taproot. So I will let these go in the trays, you know, like this is okay, but then once they get the first two leaves, what I'm going to do next with these is I'm going to pull them out of the tray and then I'll put them in one of these, an empty yogurt container. I'll have to probably make some more, fill some more with dirt. But I use the yogurt containers simply because we have a ton of them around here. But you need the depth because these are going to quickly put down a taproot. And what you don't want to do is get that taproot confined. It'll get what's called a J shape or a J root, and that can kill your coffee tree. So as soon as these sprout like this, they seem to sprout well on these small trays. As soon as they do this, then I pull them out and I'll put them in a deeper container like this. And eventually I'm going to have to take them out of these, and by that time maybe I'll have them planted in the ground. But yeah, these are, for example here, it looks like they're growing really well in these containers, but they're all transplants, most of them. That one's not. These started out in the trays, and then as soon as these leaves sprouted, I transplanted them, and now you see some of them are starting to get their secondary leaves. Stay away from the coffee there, Mr. Rooster. As I said, around here, this is the biggest problem you have with growing anything, is there's a lot of animal pests that will necessitate using fencing and screening and whatever you have. So anyway, if you're thinking about growing coffee, what you want to try to do is duplicate these climate conditions as best you can. As I said, this is known as a Kona coffee belt. And you know the coffee grows well here because it's growing as a weed out in the forest areas. And as you can see, you just put a seed in any dirt and it'll sprout. So, you know what, maybe we'll go inside and we'll look a little bit, we'll look at a weather channel or something inside, and I'll show you what the weather is like around here. This is the 10-day forecast, and I've got the high and low temperatures. These are in Celsius, and I'll show them in Fahrenheit in a minute. This kind of shows you what the weather is like day after day here. So basically 24-18, 24-18, 24-19. That's the temperature spread on a typical day. The precipitation is not accurate on this site. We're in a little microclimate here. If it says 20%, it's probably more like 80%. If it says 40, it's definitely going to rain that day. So this isn't really accurate. And then the humidity you can see over here, it's roughly correct, I think. So basically the perfect temperature is between 22-18, 25-19, that range day after day, and it rains probably as I said, 3 out of every 4 days. So let me change this. We'll show the same thing in Fahrenheit here. Okay, so here's the weather, same weather, but in degrees Fahrenheit. So basically 71 high, 63 low, here 75, 65. It's like that day after day. It's basically similar to what you'd find indoors. 75, 70, there is no day in hotter than 76 in the next 2 weeks, and the lows never get more than about the mid 60s. And then again, this is a little microclimate. We get way more rain than what they're showing there. So anyway, if you're thinking of growing, maybe you live in a cold climate and you want to grow a coffee indoors, try to mimic these temperatures and lots of water. And most of the time it's either overcast or raining, so they don't need strong sunlight, but a very moderate temperature like this. Anyway, that's your update, your 5-month update for coffee seeds. Thanks for watching.